Welcome back everyone to another Demo Impressions, where I play the demos of new and upcoming games and tell you if it rustles my jimmies. I do this hoping I can help you fill up your wishlist and slowly forget that you even had it there in the first place. Without further ado, I'm your host, Kim Chi, and today we will be looking into Undungeon. If you like top-down hack-and-slash action RPGs with graphics that offer a sense of nostalgia for the 16-bit era of gaming, then this game might be right down your alley. The game itself has a very interesting story that is thrust upon us at the beginning cinematic. It's described at a very cosmic level and touches upon the multiverse theory, where there is an infinite number of Earths at any given time, each with its own variation, its own unique characteristic, separated only by a thin cosmic thread. But a cataclysmic event called The Shift has merged 6 of those multiverses together, which brings us to the start of our journey. 1,000 years after the event, you have awakened in the void called upon by your creator, who has a quest that you must complete. Undungeon takes you first on the role of the Herald of the Void, whose main goal is to find and fight the other 6 heralds of each multiverse's god and take their seals in order for your own god to create the 7th world which was originally intended to exist. But due to some foul play involved, your ties to the dimensional realm were severed and you're cast into some sort of time anomaly. So you must hack and slash your way through all 6 dimensions, complete with an assortment of enemies and NPCs to encounter. Before starting the game, there are also other characters that you can choose from, so it's safe to assume that along the way we get to unlock each one and experience their own story as well. That's very nice, that way we get to see each character's point of view, or perhaps those characters are at a different point in time, either in the past or future. Remember, our first character is 1,000 years after the event, so a lot of things have happened before our awakening, so the others might just serve to fill in the gaps in between those timelines. There's not much to say about how the game looks in general, except that it looks great. The pixel art graphics is wonderfully crafted and is very reminiscent of retro games that we all love and grew up playing with. It is blended really well to the atmosphere and general feel that the game is trying to convey, which brings me to say that if this is only on one world, I'm surely looking forward to what the other 5 worlds would look like with this style. Now then, aesthetics out of the way, let's talk about the map itself in a gameplay perspective. It is semi-open world in a way that the entire map is divided into these smaller areas that we can roam around in. You can travel from one area to another in the world map on your own free will, for as long as you have discovered the coordinates for that area. Of course, the farther out you go, the stronger your enemies become, so you don't need me to tell you that you need to be prepared as you go out wandering the wastes. There will also be instances that you will run into an ambush while you're traveling, or just run into some friendly NPCs. Not sure on that last part though, because as the NPC that I have encountered was actually a developer who just told me to add the game to my wishlist, but friendly NPC nonetheless. Certain portions of the area are locked, in which case you will need to find the key or required item to use to gain access. Those items can either be on the current area you're in or can be found in another, so exploration is encouraged. Don't worry though, as you go farther out you will be able to fast travel to certain locations using these dimensional piers. Once activated, they will be at your disposal at any time, so you don't have to walk all the way to the other side of the map. You will also have some sort of hub area, usually located right in the middle of everything, where you can trade in resources that you have gathered or purchase upgrades, weapons, and consumables to prepare you for your next journey. How you play the game is pretty simple. You arrive in the area, you fight your way to the next one, pick up some stuff along the way, do some side quests while you're at it, until eventually you get to the quest where you fight the main boss of the world. It's the same formula we're familiar with for every RPG game. Combat also has an array of mechanics that you can use aside from just simply straight up hitting your opponents. You have the option of throwing weapons such as knives and grenades, and also special unique skills that you can unlock depending on the type of equipment you have on your person. It is up to you on how you use those mechanics to your advantage, as usually you will find yourself at a disadvantage because of the number of enemies you're facing off against, and you will be swarmed if you're not careful. Character customization is exactly how you imagined it. You have your weapon slots and your armor slots, with each of them having their own unique skills attached to them. Some give you access to area moves where you can hit multiple enemies surrounding you, or more utility-based skills such as invisibility for a short duration. But what's cool for me is that you also have the option to change your organs. Yes, you heard me correctly, as grotesque as it sounds. You can craft certain body parts which gives you different effects depending on what type of body part you craft, whether it be an eye, a heart, or a lung. For example, a predator brain gives you increased chances of getting organs from defeated enemies and an increase to your damage output, which in turn, those harvested organs can be used to craft other body parts for yourself. Character improvement can be further increased with runes that you can pick up from chests or buy from traders. You can stack up runes with the same effect, like increasing maximum HP to make your character as tanky as possible, or increasing damage output and all that good stuff. However, runes aren't limited to combat-based effects, as there are runes that give you special discounts when bartering with traders. That's as far as I know about it, because that is the only rune that I picked up that isn't for combat. It's all a mix and match style where you build a character that works well with how you want to play. It's sad though that no matter what you equip onto your character, the appearance doesn't change. I don't know, it's merely my own preference that I get to see my character change over time as I get better and stronger weapons and armor. But that's just me. I don't know about you. Like I said before, if you're a fan of top-down hack-and-slash games, you may like this game as well. The combat feels really smooth. You can control your character very well and maneuver through your enemy's attacks without a problem. There are also a lot of enemy variety even in the demo alone to keep the fighting different every time, so that's a nice plus. With the addition of runes and organs that I mentioned earlier, it gives a much more controlled feeling to how you approach combat. If you feel that a certain section is giving you a hard time, you can take a step back and change some of your equipment that you feel would give you a better advantage to the situation. The story is very cool as well. It's not every day that we get to experience a video game that touches on the subject of multiple universes. Unless I missed out on some games that are like that, do let me know down in the comments. So with that being said, I think there's nothing else I can talk about. If you have already played the demo and you think I missed something in the game, do let me know. And for the rest of you who haven't, try this out for yourself. I'll leave a link in the description, as always. Give this game a chance, who knows, it may be your next purchase when it comes out next year. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. Which food do you think is gonna host the next video? I'll see you next time. Cheers!